Hi, Dr. Taylor with Aspire Chiropractic. So, what I want to do today, I want to talk about something that's been walking through this door a whole bunch lately. Shoulder problems. Now, fun fact, very seldom is a shoulder problem a shoulder problem. And I want to show you why. So, let's look at this here. If we've got our spine, right? Big old stack of bones here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Out here, we've got a shoulder blade, and then here, we've got our upper arm. Okay? So, there's our shoulder. Now, our shoulder connects to the shoulder blade. There's no joint back there. Okay? The shoulder blade just glides around on a bunch of ribs. Kind of like this, right? So, if we've got an issue with our spine or with our ribs, that's going to affect how the shoulder blade glides. If the shoulder blade is gliding on some bumpy surface, that's going to affect how the shoulder itself moves, right? It makes sense. So, anatomy lesson. Everybody knows what the rotator cuff, well, not everybody knows. Everybody's heard of the rotator cuff. Now, it's a rotator cuff, not a rotary cuff, not a rotor cuff, rotator cuff. And it is a group of 4 muscles. We call them the sits muscles, S-I-T-S. If we're looking at the front of the shoulder, okay, here's our upper arm, there's the ball, here's our shoulder blade. So we're looking at the front, okay? On this back side here, there's a muscle that comes up and around called the supraspinatus. What does supraspinatus do? It abducts the arm. Think of an alien abduction. It takes it away. Okay? Next, so that's one S. The next letter, I, is the infraspinatus. It comes around like that. Okay? What does it do? It externally rotates the arm. Muscles only pull, right? So if the supraspinatus connects up here and it pulls, it does this. If the infraspinatus comes around, connects out here, it can only pull, so it does this. Now this infraspinatus, this is on the back side of the shoulder blade. So in all reality, we're looking at it like so. Okay, next, T, teres. Teres minor. Minor means tiny. It connects right here on the side of the shoulder blade, comes around the outside, does the same thing. It assists in the action of the infraspinatus, which is external rotation. Last one, the other S, subscapularis. Sub, less than, underneath. Now, if we're drawing this correctly, this here is actually between the shoulder blade, there's our spine, and the ribs, okay? So, it's sandwiched in there, back between your shoulder blade and the back side of your rib cage. What's that thing do? It comes around, pokes right out of here, connects right on the inside there. Again, so if it goes from there to there, that muscle only pulls, so it does that internal rotation. Now, fun fact, let's take away this S here. Let's draw the rest of the spine. So, okay, let's say this is T1, C7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Every muscle is powered by nerves, right? Your body is told what to do by your brain. It communicates that message down your spinal cord, out the nerves, into the body. Now, guess what? All of these muscles are powered by nerves that come out of your neck. So, back to our original point. More often than not, a shoulder problem isn't really a shoulder problem. A shoulder problem is a neck problem. Because if these muscles, the rotator cuff muscles, 4 of them, aren't getting the proper message from the neck, from those nerves, into those muscles telling them what to do, how good do you think that shoulder is going to work? Not very good at all. Another thing, further illustration on how a shoulder problem is not a shoulder problem, more often than not. What if our mid-back looks like this? Okay? And again, we've got our ribs that come out. And then we've got our shoulder blade back here floating on this janky rib cage, which is caused by this janky mid-back. How good Do you think that arm is going to work? How good do you think those muscles are going to work, right? Because they're all, I mean, it dictates the function. Structure dictates function. So, doc, I got this shoulder issue. Okay, let's check your neck. Yeah, but it's my shoulder that hurts. No, I know. Let's check your neck. We're also going to check your mid-back. But it's my shoulder that hurts. Yeah, I know it's your shoulder. We're going to look at that too. But we want to look at what anchors the shoulder. Lastly, a shoulder problem isn't always a shoulder problem, except for when it is. We're going to go way down low. We're going to look down at the hip. The hip is a ball and socket joint, right? So this is your pelvis. This is the top of your femur. Here's your leg. Ball and socket. So now let's go back to the shoulder. Also a ball and socket joint. Huge difference. The depth of the socket in the hip gives it a lot of stability. This here, you ever been golfing? Boop. There's your ball and socket joint in the shoulder. It's garbage, okay? So what do we got to do? We got to add something called a labrum to help deepen the socket, but again, it's still garbage because what happens is if you give mobility, you give up stability. So then that's where all of those rotator cuff muscles come into play to help keep that shoulder stable. But again, they've got a huge job to do because these things do a lot. And if their power gets messed up, their power being the stuff coming from the neck, those nerves, right? If their situation or their function gets messed up because of the bones in the neck or the bones in some janky mid-back, where are you going to feel it? Right there in that shoulder. So again, chiropractic, neck pain, back pain, headaches. Everyone knows we're awesome at that. You know what else we're awesome at? Shoulder issues. You know why? Because shoulder issues aren't always shoulder issues. More often than not, shoulder issues are spine issues. If you need our help or you know anyone who does, by all means, send them in here. We'll be happy to treat them, happy to help them. We're here when you're ready to be your best. Right here to Inspire Chiropractic. Naturally.